Alright YouTube, how it going? So in this video, I'm just going to be breaking down how to build a extremely successful email sequence using a strategy that I've seen in one of my favorite email sequences I've been a part of because it's extremely engaging and it actually makes me want to buy from this person compared to a lot of other email sequences I've been in, even from big businesses. And essentially just using these strategies as well, and they're extremely simple. I've been able to get a pretty decent amount of results for my clients. And I think you guys, whether you're a business owner or you're a copywriter, email marketer, whatever, or you're agency owner, whatever, if you implement this into your emails, you'll be able to close a lot of sales without trying to break your mind of thinking like, what email should I be sending next in my sequence. So as you can see in the title, I'll be doing a complete breakdown of how $100 million e-commerce brand builds its winning email sequence, and this works in any industry because the principles in this email sequence are universal. It doesn't just work in e-commerce. I've used it in the credit repair industry as well. So yeah, all these things are universal. So I'll be reviewing the email sequence of Alex Fedotov. So this guy right here. Not sure if you've seen him, but if you've been around e-commerce, you probably know who this guy is. He's really big in Shopify e-commerce. He's created a lot of millionaires, and I actually know the copywriter who works as a CMO for his company. So yeah, this is just the strategies he's also taught himself. So he's revealed these strategies. He's showed this is how you build a successful email sequence, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So one of the things that I did want to note, like I was saying before, is Alex's email strategy follows an extremely simple yet effective framework for building an audience that trusts you and converts them into loyal customers. And I'll also be showing examples of the first 10 emails he sent me in a sequence, just to show you exactly how these emails actually look like, so you can replicate them for your own offer. And also, as a note, I know like building an email sequence is extremely hard and it can be complicated, because I was also in that boat when I was new to copywriting. I was like, bro, what email should I be writing next? Like, I knew how to write emails, but like, what order should I be sending the emails? What angle should I be coming up with? How do I convert my email list into customers? So this video essentially solves all those problems for you, or most of the problems for you. And like I was saying before, once I started copying these same frameworks to an email list I manage, open rates and click-through rates started to look like this. So you were getting like nearly 80% open rates on emails with 23, 17, 16% click rates. And if you look below, the industry average email open rates are like 21.5%. So I'm nearly 4xing the average. And then the click-through rates are 2 to 3%. I generally like to say like 5 to 10% is the average. So again, above average results with using these strategies and frameworks, which you guys can copy. So essentially, I'm just going to break down the strategy, no more fluff. So the first part of the strategy is find your audience's main objections and roadblocks. So essentially, the number one way to give value in an email sequence and actually sell is to break people's objections and roadblocks they have, and actually guide them on a journey to going from where they are now to where they want to be. And essentially, the thing is, when people think about giving value, they generally approach it the wrong way. They think giving value is giving people like free advice in a way where it's like, here's a 3-step tier list or like sequence of how you should buy your first real estate property or whatever. And essentially, you don't want to do that with the emails, because if in your emails you give free value that people can actually take action towards and get like a real tangible result, the thing is, people are going to try to implement this themselves instead of trying to learn from you. And really, this is doing more harm for the person than good, because as an offer owner, or if you're working for an offer, you know that offer can help customers, clients, whatever, get the results that they are looking for. That's why people come to you, and that's why your offer sells. So essentially, if you're just giving people free value, it's like, here's my 5-step sequence to building a 50K per month agency in your emails, people are just going to try to do those 5 steps first before actually working with you. So it creates like a whole friction, whole delay before people actually buy from you, and really, you're not really providing that much value to your audience. And then when people get those strategies, they just go off your email list, they stop engaging with you because you haven't really built any know, like, and trust, and essentially you never hear from them again. So essentially, the first part is find your audience's main objections and roadblocks, and ChatGPT AI is extremely good at doing this. And in my last video, I did a video on AI copywriting. So if you want to know how you can use AI to get the most results with email marketing or your marketing in general, you can watch that video. Now, the second part of this sequence is handle these objections and help your audience overcome their roadblocks. So essentially, um, in sales psychology, like the way people stick with you a lot and the way people love you a lot is if you help them overcome like a mental roadblock or objection. Like the reason why, for example, Andrew Tate became so successful, it's because he didn't tell you how to build a $1 million business. He didn't go on the internet and say, all right, here's the frameworks for building a $1 million business step by step. No, what he did was he broke your objections and your beliefs as to why you can't build a $1 million business. And then he sold a solution at the end, after he broke your objections and your limiting beliefs. And then he showed you how to build a $1 million business. So essentially, Andrew Tate is like probably the best example I could think of. So when you want to give value to your audience and you want them to stick with you for the long term, you want to first find their objections, limiting beliefs, objections or roadblocks, and then you want to help them overcome it. And for example, I'll also be showing examples later, but say you're selling a real estate offer and people have the objection that real estate is only for millionaires. You can break that objection in email and say, no, real estate is for everyone. 70% of investors, they start out small and then they turn into millionaires later through real estate. So that's a statistic you can use to break an objection. People are like, oh shoot, it switches something in their brain and they are more likely to stick with you and your offer. And essentially, these objections, roadblocks, whatever, could be about the offer itself. So the offer you're selling depends what awareness level your audience is, the business model, the consumer's confidence or the attitude that they have, whatever. And the third step is sell. So with Alex Fedotov, what I've seen, which is really counterintuitive to what a lot of copywriting gurus teach, is he sells every single day in his emails. So he gives value in an email and he sells straight after. So I've rarely seen him send an email where he doesn't sell you on his offer. And the reason why, it's because, again, like I was saying before, the way people are going to get the most value out from your brand is by working with you, right? So if you break the objections, the next thing you want to do is sell your offer, or if you're a copywriter, sell your client's offer, and essentially, yeah, just sell the offer and make sure people are getting in your programs as soon as possible so they can get the most results. And essentially, just as a note for selling in your emails, always make sure you're always providing fresh angles in your emails. So you're not just saying like the same call to action in emails like every single email. It's going to get really boring, really, really repetitive, especially if you're sending emails like 2 to 3 times a week and have the same call to action. People are just going to get tired of reading your emails. They're going to unsubscribe and it's going to be really bad for email marketing. And another thing that you can do that works really well is recycle successful angles. So maybe you've sent an angle like an email like 5 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. It's done really, really well. You can recycle it and use it now and just see how well it compares. If it's like everlasting, you can just, whenever you want to make a lot of sales, use that same angle, and that's the way you make a lot of money without having to do a lot of thinking. Now I'm just going to go over to the other screen and just go through a few of Alex's emails just to show you how you can implement all these frameworks in your own email marketing. Alright, so as we can see, I've received 389 emails from Alex over the past year. So I've been in his sequence for a while, and this is just his first email that he sends. I'm not sure if he changed up his sequence now or his emails, but the frameworks are still in these emails. So essentially, the first email is introducing the offer and just introducing people to the expectations of being in the email list. So essentially, you can read this at your own pace, because if I read all 10 emails, it'll be too long of a video. So essentially, he just goes through again what his business model is, and then at the end, no, he doesn't sell you in this email, but he just tells you what the business model is. And another way to make sure your emails actually get read is to ensure you have something that tells people to drag the emails back into primary, and also include this copy at the end of your emails. This is a compliance footer, and this is amazing. This is actually amazing. If you know about a compliance footer and you use it in your marketing, you know how good one of these is. Like for example, my client was struggling with his email deliverability. After applying this, every email was going into the inbox, primary, all the time. So this is amazing. And that's the first email. So the second email is kind of random. It's like, are you serious, Jesse? So straight away, not even a warm-up email or not even a value email. He just sold me on the second ever email. So it's like, hey Jesse, I'm looking for 7 ambitious people who want to make 10K month profit with their own Shopify store in 2024. I only want to take you under my wing if you're serious about making full-time income online. So if that's you, apply here. It takes 30 seconds. So straight away he gives value through selling his offer and essentially just shows results. So yeah, people are excited about being the sequence. He takes advantage of that, or the copywriter does, and basically sells. Now, this other email is also selling, so I'm just gonna skip over that one. Oh, sorry, no, urgent question. Oh, this is actually for angles. So if you want to come up with angles and emails that your audience actually wants, you can send an email like this. So going over here, the best side hustle of this year. So essentially he's just addressing a question that his audience has. His audience are people who want to make money online. So what is the best side hustle of the year? So essentially he just sells the dream at the beginning of the email, and none of these side hustles are new or original. He throws stones at his competition and shows why his business model is the best, and just gives benefits to his audience, and then he sells us again. It's a pretty familiar pattern, and now you can start seeing how much he sells. He's got 4 different call to actions in this one email. So let's go to this email. This is another. I'm gonna skip over this one because that's a test. So how long until I make money with e-com? So as you can see, he's addressing the audience's questions or sort of objections they have about starting e-commerce in this email. So essentially this is probably a really good angle you can use if you're selling your own biz op. So essentially, how long till I make money with this business opportunity, whatever. So one question from you guys keeps him up, blah 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 blah. He shows a result here. He just makes it seem like e-commerce, so you can achieve results fast if you have the right frameworks, and then he sells his program. So now you guys can start seeing the patterns in his email. So he sells, but he does it in a way where he breaks objection first, and then he starts selling. So these few emails are just light emails. So I'm just going to go into this over here. What are the chances of failing in e-commerce? As you can see, again, he handles an objection. So don't want to be a doobie downer, but 9 out of 100 people fail in e-com. Then he explains why, blah, 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 blah. Sells us again, and etc. etc. And also, one of my copywriting mentors told me that if you really help people overcome the objections that they have in their life, and if you do it in the right way, selling every day doesn't really matter. You can sell every day in your emails. You just need to make sure your emails are very good, that people actually want to read them and they are more inclined to buy from you. Because if you have some really salesy, really bad to read emails, no one's going to buy from you if you sell to them every single day. So make sure your emails are at that quality, and people will buy from you. So you should be more selfish, Jesse. So essentially he's just trying to help me overcome my belief I have about myself, that I can't win, I can't do this, etc. etc. So it just helps us overcome this objection, and you guys get the point. So I'm just going to go through one last email here because it's getting a bit repetitive, but again, as you can see, he's breaking up another objection. Don't have time to do this. Read this email. So I don't have time to start a business right now, and I won't be surprised if he sells us again. So there we go. He sells us quite a lot. So that's basically the video. That's the framework. So that's essentially the overall framework of how you can build a successful basically email autoresponder. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into really building a successful what do you call it? Email autoresponder. So it's like, what angles are you using, what objections are you actually breaking, how specific are the objections. But if you just follow this framework, it should be more than enough for you to see a significant increase in results you guys are getting from your email marketing and the results you're having. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe so more of my content can get pushed into the YouTube algorithm, because I know this video will help a lot of copywriters, business owners, agency owners, whatever, with email marketing, because email marketing is truly one of the greatest tools that you can have. And even Sabri Subri said himself, if he was stranded on an island and he wanted to make $1 million as soon as possible, he would have his laptop and his email list. So essentially, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.